Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48.
And they'll begin by running the option.
1st down and more for Jackson. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the 1st down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head coach and probably his agent, too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson.
He'll get that to the rookie from Minnesota, Rashad Bateman.
And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 16. The good pick up there of 20 yards. Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Jackson from the shotgun. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Many times when a play breaks down and the quarterback's moving around outside of the pocket, you're thinking just get rid of something short. But a lot of guys are coached, think deep, take the big shot, hoping someone can get lost behind the secondary. They weren't able to connect on that one.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside?
And in for the Ravens touchdown. Nick Boyle, his 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
From his end zone, it's Corey Ballantyne. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And the last drive, their 1st drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
This is Swift on the counter.
Shifts by him, and he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5. Here's Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
That certainly looks like nothing to show now from these first 2 possessions. And guess what? When you're on a losing streak, that can lead to a full sense of, here we go again. So on the sidelines, the offensive play callers, quarterback, they've got to get together and dial something up to start their next drive. Otherwise, it could be a long game.
And take it right on the 30. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And we'll get our first update of the afternoon from the Meadowlands. And an early advantage in that one for the Giants. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Jackson.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation of the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Elliott good with a PAT.
And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone.
And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had it to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the gun, Jackson. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
I have to imagine many defensive coordinators had a sleepless night trying to game plan ways to slow down Lamar Jackson. What do you think is the most effective way to try to do it?
Well, you've got to be a little counterintuitive because normally you're sitting on the wide receiver 1, aren't you? But with Lamar Jackson, I'd sit on the tight end. He loves to throw into the middle of the field, loves that position as his #1 target. Take that away and hope you have a corner who can stand up man-to-man against a speed guy on the perimeter.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. wore down defenses, and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
And a good catch there by Mark Andrews. And many think that paired with Lamar Jackson, they may be the best quarterback-tight end combo this side of Mahomes and Kelsey.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. A pitch comes to Dobbins. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. These two teams all tied after 1. They go play action with Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Off the option, here's Edwards. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Dobbins. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. At the 3-yard line. Justin Tucker on the field goal. A 20-yard. Tucker's kick is good. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a 1st down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They run out of the gun with Swift. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And this is going to be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And then it's caught inside the 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Well, for Lamar Jackson, we know all about how dangerous he is running the football, but he can really sling it as well, and he connects on a big one there.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And that throw, amazingly, well over 70 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Wow. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. From the gun, here's Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Justin Houston making his presence felt there in the backfield.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
They'll roll him out right. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll try it now with Swift. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Watson off play action. He's going to sling this deep downfield.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Throwing again is Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And it's picked up by the Ravens. Look at the big man rumble. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Valentine opting not to return it, and his guys will have it at the 25.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit.
Throw left side complete. That's Williams. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards there and a first down.
T.J. Hockenson came into the NFL with big expectations. His big strides, they came in year 2 when his receptions jumped from 32 as a rookie to 67 last year. They expect those numbers to continue to go up, and they will when he continues to make catches like that.
Eluding the pressure right.
That's complete to Swift out of the backfield.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And that's out to the flat for Swift.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Watson looks to throw again. He'll take a shot for the end zone.
And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points. But he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Let's go.
Back to throw, Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Deshaun Elliott.
And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball, because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Now Jackson on first down. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback, because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
Justin Tucker on for the field goal. A 41-yard attempt.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead. And
that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Final adjustments being made in both locker rooms. They are just about set to get back to football in Detroit. And for the call of the second half, we'll kick it back up to Ford Field and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Second half starts with a run by Dobbins.
And he's able to get up here to the 26.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
Another run here with Dobbins.
It's a first down and more for Dobbins as they finally wrangle him in at the 48.
49 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down. And now Jackson will look to throw it.
That's taken in by Duvernay.
He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
They'll run on first down. Dobbins. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down. Now it's Jackson. He finds Bateman over the middle. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They go back to the ground with Dobbins. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. An option handoff here to Dobbins.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Jackson now. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Julian Okwara drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down.
A 53-yard attempt.
Tucker's kick is good. And that lead will move from 20 up now to 23. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
Their own 21-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So 2nd and 10 now here in the 3rd quarter from Detroit. Out of the gun, Watson. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. Then he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
Aleem McNeil brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19.
Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A pickup of 7 there, but they'll still have 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Jackson.
And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage. Able to knock that one away.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So this one, Charles, it's only the 3rd quarter, but they appear to be well on their way to victory.
I would say so, because a 1-score lead you don't even count, but a 2-score lead you know it can evaporate in an instant. 3 scores, feeling good, but you know it's not over yet. But now they've got a 4-score cushion. I think you can feel pretty confident in the fact this is going to go your way.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here's 2nd and 9.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Now he'll let it go deep left sideline. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He's going to try and go deep again. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
Here's Swift.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown.
DeAndre Swift,
his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer.
So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
It certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Set at the line for this next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll go again with Dobbins. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air. On 1st down, Dobbins. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 73 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
And it's 3rd down.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 8. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game. And while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. You got the big lead defensively. willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
2nd down and 3.
Watson. He gets this to Myers. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Now Watson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. To throw is Watson. Connects with Slayton. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 1st down Lions on a pickup of 13.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Hard to believe that arm strength was a knock on Deshaun Watson coming out of Clemson, but he showed what he's got there.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
Elliott good on the extra point, and they're able to cut this deficit down to 12.
Ravens 33, Lions 21. Jack Fox kicking off for the Lions.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Offense set at the line for this next drive. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. Little clock management 101.
It's 2nd and inches at the 29-yard line.
An ideal spot here to get a 1st down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. They'll keep it on the ground. Dobbins.
Oh, and that a very short gain. They do get a 1st, but short pickups, not what they're looking for.
2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
1st down, Baltimore.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Baltimore, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Mile High to take on the Broncos. Meanwhile, for Detroit, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date